Bonjour mesdames et messieurs, in this episode I want to talk to you about not buying subscribers on Instagram but growing organically in 2019. Bonjour mesdames et messieurs, my name is Serge Ramelli. I'm a French photographer from the amazing city of Paris, France, living in Los Angeles, California. And over the last 2 years, I spent a lot of time trying to improve my Instagram, and I wanted to share some of the things that have worked the best for me. I started using Instagram years and years ago, maybe 7 or 8 years ago. And in 5 years, I only grew from 0 to 5,000. And then from 2 years ago, I grew from 5,000 to 72,000. I have been harassed by companies wanting to sell me likes and followers, and I never bought any. I wanted to grow organically because I spoke to big Instagrammers who told me to never buy followers or never buy likes. Because what happens is that the way Instagram works is only a percentage of these people that are following you are going to see your posts. So if you have a lot of fake people there, that percentage might only be fake people, and you will see that the number of comments and likes on your feed is going to go down because you're not talking to a real person. Even though you got great numbers, it's not the right way to do it. There is a right way to do it, and I'm going to give you 6 tips that have worked for me really well to grow my Instagram. So tip number 1, find a look and a subject. One mistake that I did when I started is I used to post photo of me and photo of my kids and photo of flowers and great photos. You don't want to do that. You want to have a look, a specific message. The look of your feed and the harmony of colors of your feed is very important. This is my feed, and I try to make colors that match together, to stay together, trying to find some color harmony in what I do. So if I post a warm photo, I'm going to try to post 3 warm photos. And you don't have to be exact like this. I'll show you a couple of examples of people I really look up to. Like for example, Tom Anderson, the creator of MySpace, he's got 642,000 followers. But his feed is you can tell right away he's a professional. All the photos are amazing. There's a few videos, but they have a look to it. You can tell right away by looking at his feed that he really is a professional photographer and he travels and you want to follow him. I'll give you an example of what not to do. Swapanjai is a very good photographer, a very good friend of mine. And I was looking at his Instagram feed, it's completely wrong. I'm sorry, Swapan, if you're watching this video. But you can see, for example, that he has like some iPhone photos, and he has some, like an airplane, and then a black and white, and this guy is a great photographer. He did a book on Boston, which is really amazing. And so he's just, not using his Instagram at least to get somewhere. He's only got 195 followers. Let me show you a couple of more accounts. Visual of Julius. He is a good friend. He coached me on my Instagram. And he gave me some amazing golden nuggets that I'm going to share with you. And I love his feed. Yes, it's different colors, and you can tell he's like a Photoshop master. And he told me that one photo that he published, I think gave him like 50,000 followers, just one photo. He only puts his best work. Antonello Fabio, I love his feed also. Really clean, just beautiful landscape. I could go on and on and on and on. But the look of your feed is vital, because if it doesn't look professional, if it doesn't look that you're talking about something very specific, people are not going to follow you. So working on your feed is the key. Tip number 2, post in a 4x5 format. Now this is a mistake I've been doing, and when Julius was coaching me on my Instagram, he proved me that the photos that were getting the best likes and comments were in a 4x5 format. And every time I was using like a panoramic format, I was getting less comments. It's crazy. It's so simple. So what I did is I went back and took some of my most famous photo ever, and I cropped them in 4x5 and I reposted them. It was just so simple. But you see, the way Instagram is, it is really a 4x5 feed. And that's the trick. You gotta post 4x5. Tip number 3, find hashtags which are not too big or not too small. Let me give you an example. This is a photo of the Louvre that I posted, and if I go hashtag Louvre, you will see the Louvre has 2,751,741,000 followers that are following that hashtag. There is very little chance that this photo is going to actually make it there. But Louvre Museum is only got 388,000. Louvre Pyramid is only got 82,146, and Louvre Paris only 36,482. So try to find something that's between, you don't want it too small, but like between 10, 20,000 and like 400,000 is, you got a chance, if your photo is good, to appear in a top post. The way this works is, let's see, if I click on Louvre Pyramid, you will see here the top post. So, and if you are there, there's a good chance you're gonna get new followers. So just make sure you spend some time, finding the good hashtags. Also, one thing you can do is you can go directly on Google and tap best feature account for cityscape of Paris, for example. And you just ask Google and you will see 101 Instagram account that will feature your street and travel photography. Now that is something that I use a lot to find a feature account. What is a feature account? Feature account is somebody who does not take his own photos, he just features other people's photo. So if you tag him, maybe he's gonna like your photo and maybe he's gonna give you followers. I have a good friend of mine, Emric Timelapse, because he tagged the right feature account, he got promoted so much, he got 40,000 people following him on one time lapse of the SpaceX launch in Los Angeles. I mean, you got the right content and you tag the right feature account, you can be a star overnight, literally. Tip number 4, comment and like other people's work. Now this is very important. If you want to go on Instagram, you got to go and comment and likes people that you want to really grow with. Gary Vee was explaining when he started with Twitter, he is passionate about wine and he was commenting and liking 100 posts on, it was back in Twitter at the time, but it works for Instagram, and don't just leave a comment like, oh, nice photo, like, Antonio Fabio did this great photo. No, says, oh, I love the leading lines and the sun really makes the photo. Okay, try to be very organic, with the content, not just, oh, it's a nice photo. So that's very important because that's gonna grow your Instagram a lot, and especially if you leave a comment or like on a big Instagrammer and you are within the first, then there's a good chance that might bring you more exposure. But everyday commenting and liking the people that you love, that you look up to is very, very, very important. Tip number 5, do lots of stories. Story will be taken into account on how you grow on Instagram. If you do a lot of stories, Instagram is gonna think you're a very active person and it's gonna give you points and it's gonna put your content on the hashtag you've picked up more exposure. So do lots of stories. Every time you post a new photo, do a story about it, tag it so that people can go from your stories to your feed. I personally look more stories than I look feeds now, and I feel a lot of people is doing that. Story is blowing up. I find myself just, looking stories and not even looking at my feed anymore. And I believe a lot of people are doing this. So do lots of stories. Behind the scene, if you're a photographer, giving tips, telling where you travel, what your thoughts are, be very organic about it. Don't look at the production value, just do the stories. And every time you post something new, talk about it in your stories and lead to your post. Bonus tip. If you really want to go pro and you're serious and you want to build your business around Instagram, and this is not a sponsored video, they have no idea I'm doing this, but I've been using it for a couple of years, is onlyput.com. Yeah, the one thing that's great about them is you can really post in advance. So usually what I do is I spend like 1 hour and I do all my posts for the week. Now I got 4 days left, and they also got great analytics. It's just a great site. It costs money. You have to check what the price is. But that's really if you want to go pro, and you will find the link under this video. All right, guys, I hope this is going to help you boost your Instagram. A couple of weeks ago, I did a video called 10 tips to become a professional fine art photographer. Check it out. It's doing really well, and I put my heart into this video, really helping you getting to the next level as a fine art photographer.